pool of talent that is male-driven, and just because that's the ones who have been doing the most stuff, that pool grows and grows, and they don't fish in, are not aware of the other pool. And so when it comes time, even if they go like, oh, well, let's look at a few women, there's still, when you're putting a movie together, you're trying to find the person who's most in sync with you. And what's happening is they're going to more men to find the person who's in sync with them, and because they consider the pool of women to be so much smaller, it doesn't mean that pool is smaller. There's a lot of women directing, but there's very few that are anointed by the studios as the people who are viable candidates.
Kudos to you for the genius in thinking outside the box and identifying what works.
You know what? I want to thank you. I just want to try to solve it from a business angle, because again, it's not an altruistic town, and we can make it a cause. It's not going to stick. It's going to be a fad, and it's going to go away. But if there's a business thing, that's why I try to do these bigger movies now with women in the lead, because if they go like, oh, this movie's made a ton of money overseas, and that's always the hard thing. It's like they won't watch women in movies over there. If you can bash through that and create revenue, then that's the only thing that's going to change. So we go like, oh, we'll make money off that. That's the only thing that's going to change.
There's a photo that sort of circulated the internet recently of the cast and the crew from Ghostbusters, and obviously the crew was also largely the crew is also largely female. And you're obviously very well known for working with comic actresses, but I wanted to ask a little bit about how the decision to put more women behind the camera came about and how it affected the production.
I just look for the most talented people I can find, and but you want to pull from both pools, and you want those voices there, and it just, I just try to get people to go like, just don't immediately go to all the guys bring those other people in, because I just want all voices around. I don't think it works when it's all women in charge. I don't think it works when it's all men. You want both voices, because then you'll get stereotype portrayals of each other, and that's why women's portrayals have been so terrible in movies for so long. It's just a bunch of guys who have this weird image of what women are, and they're like getting back at their mom or their wife or their girlfriend, and so like, well, she's this, so she ruins our good time with our friends, and that's what you keep seeing on screen, because you're getting all that. Whereas if there's women in the mix going like, actually that's not good, and then when I work with actresses, then it's like, and then on top of that, like, please tell me, I'm still a guy, might come up with a joke or something, but let me know if that's not how you would say that, or that doesn't feel authentic. Tell me, and then we'll figure it out. And so it's that parity that we have, and everybody working together that creates the most honest thing.
That effect still happens with everyday crew members when they're.
Oh yeah, totally. Oh yeah, because I'll ask anybody for an idea. Ask anybody for feedback. What do you think about this? Yeah, so it's really important to me.
On the original Ghostbusters, Winston is not as developed as the other three leads. What's your plan for Leslie Jones's character in this movie? How will she be a key player?
She's a key player, and she's such a force of nature, Leslie, and we really just wanted, the biggest thing with putting this cast together was like, I wanted 4 different people who are all funny, and they all need to bring a different energy. You can't kind of have, and that was why it was so hard just figuring out who I was going to cast. It took me months of pictures and putting stuff around. I didn't even audition anybody, I just kind of met with people and then would just kind of line the pictures up, and then finally went like, you know what, these 4 have such completely different senses of humor and different takes on the world, and so Leslie's, you can't hold Leslie down, and so I think we wrote a very fun, Katie and I wrote a very fun role for her, and she really kills, and on the test screenings we've done so far, she just really destroys, people love her, so I just try to make good roles for everybody.
We see a lot of backlash on Twitter and other things. No, it's not about that. It's just when hate comes down.
And some of them you told them to stop making serious comments. So how has that been? How's it fighting for women's just in the fall?
Fighting on the internet is very interesting, because it's such a weird fight, because you're fighting with faceless people who are hiding behind their computers. And look, there's plenty of fans of Ghostbusters who have an issue with the fact that it's a reboot, and so that I completely get. That's whatever, that's your take on the world, that's what you want. I find that valid. But when it's just pure misogyny, then I don't even want to give voice to it. But what happens with the internet, I try not to block people. I want to hear all voices, but sometimes you just get hammered on for like a year. You finally crack, and then I just decide, I can just start blocking people, because I don't want to give those people a voice and a forum, and it's just such a non-starter when it's just misogyny. Then what's the point?
A culture can change its mind about something almost subconsciously after they just see it in a movie or on TV a few times, in something that doesn't really call attention to it. And often the media slugs behind social progress, only catching up when it's fiscally safe to do so. But sometimes artists will claw tooth and nail to present a progressive vision, which then inspires reality to follow suit. And Paul Feig is one of these revolutionary artists.
But it just really means a lot to me because I'm so committed to wanting to have portrayals of women on screen that they've been denied for so long. And it really came from just years of seeing the funniest women I knew stuck being the bitchy girlfriend and being the mean wife, or, you know, and like all the guys I knew were getting to be hilarious, and like, you know, Sarah Silverman pops up in a movie and you're like, she's hilarious, and then why is she not getting, why does she not have one joke and she's mean? Or Rachel Harris shows up in the, you know, in the Hangover, and she's just the most shrewish character you've ever seen in your life. It's like, what? Whose image of women is this? And it's what I'd like to call kind of the little boy's image of what a woman is, which is, you know, it's either mom who's mean to you, and so, well, we don't want to hang out with her, she ruins our good time, and then my girlfriend, she won't let me hang out with my douchebag friends, so she's got, you know, and then your wife, like, you're going to be home, and so that all comes out on screen, and it's a worldview, it is a view of some people, and it's been represented plenty, but I'm tired of that worldview, and I'm tired of seeing these women not get to be funny, you know, to not let Kate McKinnon be a hero on screen, and to be kicking ass, and to be a smart scientist who's coming up with crazy technology and still is getting to be hilarious and have all kinds of foibles and just get to just be who she is criminal. And it's so much with all the other women that I get to work with, and so many other women who I haven't worked with yet. I mean, you know, I wish I could make more movies, and I wish movies didn't take so long to make so that we could do more and more. And you know, but it's really important to me to just encourage Hollywood, encourage filmmakers I know, and encourage the studios to do this. I'm finally at a point in my career, just finally, where I might have a little bit more power, where I can actually possibly start producing movies. And so my focus has always been on in front of the camera and getting women in front of the camera, but now I want to catch up with women behind the camera and really start to get that going. And